Mimi sio mzee sana. Si mimi ni kijana, mimi naelewa kufanya maneno.
Wewe.
What is the problem?
Tunakuonea 18.
Mimi nimesoma ya kutosha.
What are you saying? Sema.
Nimekuwa mjumbe miaka 15. Nimekuwa naibu wa rais miaka 10. Alafu sio experience inatosha?
Okay. I want us to just speak about the person who is the current holder of that office, who recently, just earlier this week, did a sort of self-appraisal of his performance so far in office. And of course, that self-appraisal of President William Ruto has a direct bearing on your ambition to be president. I'd like us to listen together to what he had to say, and then we'll hear your reaction. This is President William Ruto on why he is best suited to continue running the country.
Nimekuwa mjumbe miaka 15. Nimekuwa naibu wa rais miaka 10. Alafu sio experience inatosha? Mimi sio mzee sana. Si mimi ni kijana, mimi naelewa kufanya maneno.
Wewe.
What is the problem?
Tunakuonea 18.
Mimi nimesoma ya kutosha.
What are you saying?
Mimi ni mtu naelewa. Hatujawahi kuwa na daktari ambaye ni rais wa nchi.
What are you saying?
Mimi nimezaliwa huko mashinani. Sasa shida ya Kenya mimi naelewa. Sasa mimi nitasema nimekosa kufanya hii kazi kwa sababu gani? I have no reason.
What are you saying?
I don't have an excuse. So I have to do the difficult job. Hii kazi yote ambayo mimi nafanya, kazi ngumu, ni kwa sababu
What is he saying?
there has never been an opportunity for a person with the experience I have, with the education I have, with the knowledge I have in Kenya. So I must do it.
Ruto.
I have combined all my predecessors, you know. I have the courage of Jomo. I have the understanding of Moi. I have the education of Kibaki. And I have the plan we shared with Uhuru Kenyatta. I have no excuse than to do everything that needs to be done in this nation. Transforming our health provision, transforming our infrastructure development. That is the assignment that I have. Nani miaka miwili tu peke yake. Tell me what's going to happen in 5 years. Tell me what's going to happen in 10 years. Tell me what's going to happen in 20 years. You will not recognize Kenya.
So, he says he's got combined all the good qualities of all his predecessors. You, a senator, want to unseat this?
There is, if you look at the Constitution, we have got 2 provisions. There's qualification and there's suitability. Article 73 talks of suitability. Article 99 talks of qualifications. He's talking about qualifications, not suitability. And I'm very happy he did not say he has integrity. He never told us he has integrity. Look at all those attributes he has given himself. None says he has integrity, that he cannot steal from us, that he cannot mismanage the economy. He's just saying he's gone to school, he has been in parliament, he has been whatever, but he's not telling us he has got integrity. What did he do in parliament? What is his track record in parliament? What is his track record as a minister? What is his track record as a president? And I agree with him that if he is allowed to continue, we shall not recognize Kenya. Kenya will be a basket case. It will be dead, it will be gone. So I fully agree with him that if we allow him to continue, Kenya will not be there. We will not recognize it. And if we have already, Kenya is in the national anthem. So if we can't recognize Kenya in the national anthem, it will not be the Kenya we know. That will be a destroyed country. And I think he's very, very committed to achieving that. Then look at the last thing, that housing. Right now, as we speak here, there's a big crisis in Busia. It began about 1 week ago. The ATC, the Graduate Training College, which was designed, when they designed Masinde Muliro, they designed the Sangalo College, then Busia, they designed the Agricultural Training Center. This gentleman has decided to put there affordable housing. Where will farmers going to train? All these things. He has put affordable and Busia again in somewhere in a disused airfield in Funyula. So he's just creating a market for cement and the building bars and all these building materials, where I think he's heavily invested, and he's just trying to make a kill for himself. He's a man who serves himself. Look at the ego that he portrays. Look at the narcissism that comes out from his own mouth. Look at the self-worship that has just come out from his own mouth. That's a sick man. He's not a normal man, he's sick. He thinks that is the best thing that God has created on this earth. He is not. We are all made in the image and likeness of God. You cannot say you can combine all these people into one. Look at that self-worship, that narcissism, that blindness. That's a man who cannot lead. That's a man to be led, not to lead. But coming down back to the question of governance in this country, and you ask me, are there people you cannot work with? But people I will not be able to work with will be people who have stolen from this country.
Okay, let's perhaps run through the list. We have Martha Karua, who has not ruled out that she won't run for president in 2027. Your thoughts on?
I've not done an audit of any of these people to establish whether they've done or not. And if it comes to a point of having one to go together, I'll have to do a thorough assessment of the individual to establish what kind of background they have. And I think there is a lot of knowledge out there, there's a lot of information out here that can help you understand each of these people. Me, anybody who has grabbed land, that's public land, anybody who has stolen from the public coffers and stuff, the people have been sued for corruption and stuff, I'll want to find them unsuitable to associate with.
What about people who've been impeached?
Well, I voted no to the impeachment of Gachagua. Because what happened in Parliament was shameful. First of all, we did not have a law for impeaching a deputy president. We used the law for impeaching the president. The Constitution, Article 250, Clause 2 is very clear that you must amend necessary modifications to create an impeachment procedure. So the impeachment of Gachagua for me was a witch hunt.
So
that managed to succeed, and it was a very shameful way it was conducted. So I don't think it is something I can hold up that it was normal business.
So you voted no for his impeachment. Was that due to a procedural technicality or a legal one?
There were two things.
Pointed out, or is it because you believe that he is a man of integrity and was not guilty of the accusations that were placed before him?
Well, what I know is that he was accused of things that required the OCS to handle, not the Senate. When you accuse somebody that he messed up the brother's will, honestly, this is a man who is a deputy president. He does not enjoy immunity from prosecution. He can be taken to law enforcement. And that's why I was saying that it was wrong to use the standard for impeaching the president to impeach the deputy president, because the president cannot be taken before law enforcement. The president is immune to it. In fact, like today I was seeing something in the newspapers, an advocate was writing and saying, is the president immune from everything? Is it possible that if the president's wife wanted to divorce him today, would the president be immune? Would that woman have to wait until he's out of office? Or things like those. But what I'm saying here is that the vice president does not enjoy immunity from prosecution. The list of things proffered against him were matters that could be handled through law enforcement. I don't see why they had to be brought to the Senate.
But what were your thoughts around him and his conduct as deputy president? Because there was a lot in terms of the accusations that he was preferring a tribal agenda with some of the statements that he'd made about shareholders and who receives development from the government. What are your thoughts around him?
And that was the flaw. That's why the thing about that is that Mr. Gachagua was not alone in that. Gachagua, Mr. Wetangula and Mr. Mudavadi were promised 30%. Whether they cashed it or not, I don't know. So there was that thing where these people shared this country, they carved the country up. And the reason was that the presidency is imperial. It controls all the money. So they to begin trying to share something out. And so, maybe because Mr. Wetangula and Mr. Mudavadi had their political parties, they were able to negotiate. Mr. Gachagua, I think, belonged to the same political party with the president. So maybe he could not have a way of negotiating. But when you looked at the evidence that was brought in the Senate, that was played out there, this guy was basically enforcing the MOU. Flawed as it was, I could not hold it against him that he was saying that his people were promised this because they came into this arena as tribes. They never came in as Kenyans. So they came in as tribes. And so everybody to fight for his group. And if you can look at it, look at what happened in health. They've had changes in health until Mr. Dwale came in. But look at the two changes, the two lady CSS were basically people from Bungoma, you see. So this thing was shared. We cannot say it was not shared. Mr. Weta was promised to be Speaker of the National Assembly. He resigned his position as a senator and he went and they picked it up. Mr. King was promised to be the Speaker of the Senate. He's the Speaker of the Senate. So if Mr. Gachagua was promised something and was not given, for heaven's sake, he had the right to blow the vuvuzela and say, my friend, where's my deal? So that's what came out on the face of it. So, but if that was the issue, we have got expertise. We have got the National Integration, what is it called, Commission?
NCIC.
Yeah, NCIC. We should have had a report from NCIC. Nobody made a complaint to NCIC. Some of these things, if somebody is driving a tribal agenda, it's even a criminal. You can prosecute him. He's just our deputy president. So why it had to be politicized and weaponized to a point whereby this guy had to be holded out the way he was is something I don't understand whether he's a good man or bad. I am a man who believes that you give the devil his due.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you work with him?
I would work with him, why not? But it will be on the question of the ideological framework.
Do you believe?
I am a civic Republican.
Okay, so from what you've seen, in his public life, do you feel like your ideologies are a match?
I've not seen an ideology emerge from any of the opposition camp, and I think I think President Ruto has asked the opposition to the so-called united opposition to show its policy.
Yeah.
I think President Ruto has been challenging them on that ground. So I've also not seen a policy framework that has come from there, other than one term and Ruto must go. If
there is a policy that you agree with, you would work with, say,
if it is a policy,
president?
If the policy framework that begins with dismantling the executive presidency, I will support anybody who helps us achieve the emancipation of Kenya. And remember, I'm not using the word liberation. I'm using the word emancipation, the emancipations of Kenyans. Because in my estimation, if we may use biblical terms, the march to Canaan is not from Egypt. It's from Babylon. We need Nehemiah, not Joshua, to lead us. So if we are going to have that, and we have a clear policy agreement, not an agreement of tribes, okay? That agreement of tribes, I cannot be part of it. But if there's a clear position, as a civic Republican that I am, I'm not a neoliberal, I'm a civic Republican. As a civic Republican, then I look at that and I say, okay, we are going to have small government, we are going to stress production, we are going to ensure that we want to see rich Kenyans on the grassroots, we want to make Kenyans wealthy on the grassroots, we want to reduce taxation, we want to see people with disposable income so that at month end you can go in your local shopping center and if you want to improve your house, we are able to pay for somebody to weld a window for you, somebody to come and paint for you, and when we rotate the money in the economy by allowing people to keep money in their pay slips. If that clear agenda comes out, that we are not going to allow public office to be used for private gain, that we are going to punish thieves who steal from the public, that we are going to recover all the stolen assets, public assets that have been stolen, we are going to recover and bring them. I don't care whether the man is a saint. as long as he supports that agenda. And we agree on that agenda and we implement it. And of course, if he has stolen that agenda, we'll lock him up.
Mimi nasikia kama naweza hama hapa niende nikaishi kwa mwezi.